Welcome to my apiary. Today is Saturday, April the 2nd. It's bee moving day. I'm very excited about bee moving day. Spring is always very stressful, and getting the bees out is one step in relieving some of that stress for bees and beekeeper alike. The weather forecast in the next week or so is not particularly warm, but it's not particularly cold. So we're looking at highs of 5, lows of, -4, -5, which I'm okay with. That's not remarkably different than what they're putting up with in the building. The wind is a different factor. So, we're going to reduce entrances, etc. But what I need to do is I need to get syrup on as soon as I can. I got some sugar yesterday. That needs to be mixed up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use my big mixer for that, but I'm going to move that direction. If I can't, 5-gallon pail and a paint mixer is what it's going to have to be. So you may remember my syrup mixer in a different video. Has a 1,000-liter IBC tote and a pump, etc. The building is holding at 3.5 degrees, and there's some things to move out. Here, a bunch of honey stored here. It's going to take me a few minutes to move that out and clean up. I've got all these panels on top, all kinds of things. So there's lots to do in here yet. I'm not going to stir the bees up. I'm not going to open the doors till this is all done. It's Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. Thought I'd take a page out of my mentor's book and get up before the sun and get some bees moved. Actually, I'm totally kidding. No, I'm not kidding. It's early, but it's not pitch black out here. Little tractor sat outside last night. I think he'll start up okay. He's a good starter. He just has 10W30 oil, so it gets kind of thick when it's cold. I hope he starts up because he's key to this operation today. It's about 6:30 a.m. in the blessed morning, and the landscape is frozen overnight. So I need to do this while that is the case, because yesterday I got shut down by mud. The apiary got so unbelievably muddy that I just couldn't do it anymore. We got, I don't know, we got about 2/3, 3/4 maybe, 2/3 I think, of the colonies out. What I saw looked pretty good. They were a bit light, so we got some syrup on some of them. And so I hope to get the rest out today. So I'm going to go open the barn up, get the tractor started, and we'll get this show on the road. So that's what I have left to do. Quite a few trips across the yard. It looks like it's pretty firm out there, but I'm not sure how deep the frost goes. It's going to be a rough ride with the frozen ground though, because there's ruts everywhere. But I got to get at this. This is the moment you realize that you made your apiary too small. I think there's 163 colonies here or something like that. And one giant mud hole. So they're all out now, and the assessments begin. So far, the ones that have pails there have been assessed, and they're about 8% loss. So I'm thoroughly happy with that. So we'll see what the rest of these count up as. Here's my advice on pumps. If you're going to bother to waste money on a pump, you better spend a little bit extra and get a Honda pump. Now this thing's brand new, so you'd expect it to work well. But this brand new engine, and this is not a Honda pump, this is a Power Fist pump out of Princess Auto, but it's a Honda engine. You know, you're looking at $500 to $600, closer to $600 I think. Anyway, brand new engine. I put oil in it, I put gas in it. That thing fired up, ready to go on a second pull. And it's got a compression release system where it's really easy to pull. That old pump that I have, man, that is just a bear to pull. They keep breaking the recoil cord actually. So I'm thoroughly impressed so far. I'll get this thing hooked up. I gotta relocate my pallets a little bit to align everything, and we'll get some water in the tank and we'll make some syrup. I had a bit of a brain fart last fall, and I'd stored a bunch of jars. There's like 60 jars or something here, way in here, in some pallets, in some boxes. So I had to get my tractor and bucket and clean out all the snow, and then barely get to them at that, but I got them. There's a pallet load here, so there's not quite enough for what I need, but we'll use them and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to mix up a little bit of syrup here. Not nearly this whole tote. What I got is I got 18 bags, and a partial is about a half there, and about 200 liters of water. So this is going to, in theory, give me about a 1.8 ratio. People stress about ratios a lot. I want to encourage you not to. You're not going to do it wrong, and the bees are not going to refuse it if you make it a different ratio. Now, having said that, in the spring, you can get away with thinner syrup than the fall, because the fall they need to dry it and store it for winter stores. So it should be as thick as possible, really. And in the spring, I know Bob Binney talks about giving them light syrup to stimulate brooding, I think he says. So that's a reason to give them thinner syrup. I'm not going to tell you if Bob's wrong. Thicker syrup lasts longer before it sours. I'm always a little shy to make thin syrup for fear that it might sour. I'm not making that much. I'm only giving a couple liters to every colony, and so they should take that down quickly enough that it shouldn't have time to sour. And the weather is cool, so that'll also help mitigate the souring of the syrup. So I'm going to get my new Honda pump going and dump those bags in here. I haven't got my camera set up, so I can't really film the whole action process, but you've kind of seen that before. I ran out of my gallon pails for feeding, and I had 76, I believe, that didn't get fed. There's a few dead ones. Not many, about 10% at this point. But I haven't done comprehensive assessments, so there might be some weak ones that are going to let go yet. So I raided my old supply of half-gallon mason jars, and I had quite a few, so that was nice. I mixed up the syrup in the tank and filled these. I still came up short, so I had some quart jars, and I didn't have enough, so I raided my wife's closet, and I got a few more brand new quart jars here. I think I have enough now. So now the long, arduous job of walking 1,000,000 miles to distribute these, and kind of the problem is I can't drive around with the tractor to do it. So I gotta walk. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my wagon. It's in the shed over here, and I'm gonna put these in a wagon so I can drag it around. That'll work. Well, the wagon holds a lot. There's 50 of those half-gallon jars in there. So, I mean, that's 25 gallons of syrup. That's going to be heavy. But I'm sure it'll take it. Well, I know it'll take it. It's got a very heavy rating on that. So off I go. Well, everybody's fed. That was hard enough even with the wagon. It doesn't make as big a mess, but it's really hard to pull around. So that's it. So there's a lot of these dead outs. The lid's upside down on the dead outs, you know. Got a few. There's one here. We're looking about 10% loss at this point. I'm pretty happy with that number. Could lose perhaps almost that many yet, because April dwindle is a real thing. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and she don't sing until the 1st of May. That's my saying. But I'm happy everybody's fed. The weather is going to be kind of not very warm, but not very cold, coming up the next number of days. So the apiary is an absolute muddy, messy, wet, disgusting mess. I can't even walk. So there you go. That's my Sunday. I think I'm taking Monday off.